Hi everyone, my name's Electric Donkey, and today we're back doing another GameMaker tutorial, and today we're doing the No Man's Sky project. So, in the last video, if you remember, we did the file-based work, and that was all in the scripts, and the script save world and the script load world. Now, if you remember, I mentioned in the next video that we were going to add multiple different objects and multiple different planets within the world, but all from one object. Now, the thing that we're going to have to do with this is to get this to work, we're going to have to fiddle around with how the planet works at the moment. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So the first thing we really probably want to be doing is just adding a few more colors, but I'll do that in the spare time that I'll have after this video. So we want to effectively draw these planets. So we'll have draw GUI, do a little code thing. So we'll say draw circle, and we'll have it at our X, our Y, radius. So what we're going to say for our radius, let's have, I don't know, so I think it's going to be double the radius wide, so let's try 16, see how that goes. Outline, false. Okay, and we'll set a colour, we'll set it to be blue. Draw set, actually let's set it to, I don't know, C red. Yeah, let's do C red. Okay, and then after this we want to set the colour back to black, because the next bit we're going to be using the black. So now what we want to do is we want to say another draw event. Actually, we need to comment this a little bit. So this is drawing the planet. The next bit is going to be drawing the outline if we're hovering over it. So we want another bit, and we'll say drawing the outline. So we're going to need something to reference this, because in the past we've literally just used a kind of, oops, not there. We've used, we just changed the sprite. That's not what we want to do now. We want to set a variable. So we'll say, what should we call it? Let's say out, something for outline, equals true. And if we leave, then we want to do it the other way around, so it needs to be out equals false. And this will just determine whether we'll draw our outline or not. In our create event, we need to now set the out, and defaultly it's going to be false, because we didn't want to draw it defaultly. Now if we go into the drawing the outline, and now we say a simple if statement, so if out, then what we want to do is we want to say draw circle, and this is going to be X, Y, 16 again, and this is going to be outline true. So now this is going to draw our thing. So we don't need a sprite anymore. We're going to, the planets are all going to be drawn by ourselves now. However, for the time being, we're going to keep it as a sprite planet, but this won't be drawn. So if it's blue, then we know there's an issue. If it's red, then we know, well, that's worked. That's the draw function that's kicked in instead of it. In my opinion, I think it's probably going to either be red or non-existent at all, because the draw functions cancel out drawing itself. But we'll just have to see. So yep, you can see it is definitely red, although it's really quite laggy. So what is going wrong? Well, you can see only when we hover over the exact middle does the outline actually come on. That's a slight issue. It's a very slight issue. So let's have a look at our sprite planets. So what do we want? How are we going to do this? And let's think, because obviously that thing that we've got going there doesn't really work as well as I'd like it to. So mouse enter no longer works because we're drawing our planet in this. So how are we going to do that? So my guess would be to draw a little square and use that as its bounding box, but the problem is that would take a lot of time, and for the minute that's not really that significant. So we'll just leave that for the time being. We'll pretend that works, because it's nothing really that significant, and I'd prefer to get on and do the rest of it. So now we've got that kind of working, we need to actually keep hold of every individual planet. So let's take this. So we're going to put 2 planets in now. So we're going to have our room, which is room 1, and we're going to go ahead and just put another planet in to the right of us. So right there. So we want them to have different worlds, but be able to save each one in. So first thing we need to check is in the object world gen, because we need to make sure that somewhere in there we've actually randomized it. Yep, we have there. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to make sure at the end of this crate we are actually saving the world. Actually, before we do that, we don't really want to actually, do we? Because we want to save it when we leave, not when we are there. So we can comment that out for the time being, but I'm going to copy that so we can paste that in later. Okay, so we need some way of actually getting off our planets. So in our player, I'm just going to chuck in a really quick little key press. So we'll just do key press, keypad, and we'll just do R for return. So wherever R is, there it is. So in the code here, we're going to say we pressed R, so we want to use our script save world. We want to save it like that. Now what we will need to do is, well, actually we need to do a few checks here before we do it, because this is going to save it into our planet .ini script. But what happens in the event that it's a different planet? We want to save it into another script. So how are we going to do that? So we're going to use if, and we're going to have to find some sort of we need some sort of function that will I don't know, it will check whether it exists. So looks like we're going to have to make a few slight changes to the actual script itself. So let's go in and we'll put text, and we'll add another argument in here. So we'll say it will be the section that we want to save them. Okay, and so we're going to use var sec equals argument 2. Alright, and then this we're going to replace with our sec. So now we can decide which section we want to save it in. So effectively now we can use this in this if statement. So we can use if ini. Actually, we need to open it first, don't we? We need to use ini open. We need the file name, which is going to be this. Right, and now we want to say if ini section exists, and we need a section, so it's going to be, what should we say, what was it? We need another thing in here, don't we? That's what we need. So what section are we going to save it in? Planet 1. So if section exists planet 1, actually we want if it doesn't exist, then we're going to save it into that first slot, else we want to save it into the other slot. So we'll copy this here, and now we're going to change that to planet 2. And then finally at the end we want to close the ini close, and we want to then beam back up to the room. So room equals room. That's what it is. So now if we go back into our room, we should now be able to go down to a planet and beam back up, and then that should be saved. So if we then go back to that planet, it should be able to check and load up the old planet. Right, so let's try this one first. So that's perfectly fine. Now we go R, we're back over here, we'll press that one. It's a different planet, and effectively these will all be different every time we do it. They will not be the same because we're not loading them up. We'll go into that probably in the next video now. So anyway guys, really quickly, I'd just like to check that has worked. Now I've got to remember where they save all the files. But I'll have a look quickly, just make sure that has all worked. So I believe they're saved under program data. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe they are saved under users. I think it's saved under app data if I'm right there. Local, and then I think it's one of these ones here. That one, maybe. No, maybe not. Trying to remember. Let's just try searching it. Actually, I think it's saved under one man's lie. Actually, yep, there it is. Let's have a look. Planet 1, and we want the ini. I'm going to edit with Notepad, and we'll just check that both worlds have now been saved. Yep, you can see there we have both worlds have been saved into there, and they are different somewhere along the lines, but there's a lot of code there. But anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. We'll come back for the next one, we'll do some loading and stuff. If you enjoyed, remember to like, subscribe, or just do whatever you guys want to do, and I will talk to you in the next one.